Chukura from Lillylegal. We are an immigration law firm and we help our clients get status for themselves and their families using the U.S. immigration law system. So today I want to show you how to check your case status. So you have a case pending with USCIS, you're not sure what the current status of your case is, and you want to know how to check it. So today I will be going through with you how to check your case status with USCIS specifically. Okay, we are not talking about your case at National Visa Center or your case at the embassy. I will be showing you how to check those in another video, but I wanted to keep it really simple and just talk to you and show you how to check your case status with USCIS. So if you have any questions about this or anything else, you can book a time to speak with me by going over to my website, Lillylegal.com, or by calling my office at 508-443-1788. So let's get right into this. So I had a client come in, a potential client come in, and they were just concerned that their case wasn't moving. They didn't know what the status is. Their lawyer just passed away and they don't know where they are in the process. So the first thing I do with people in this situation is to go ahead and check their case status. Okay. So today we are going to start there, right? We're going to start at checking your case status. What will you need to check your case status, and where do you need to go to check your case status? That's the other thing you want to know, obviously, is what documents do you need and where do you need to go to actually check your case status. So that's what we'll be doing today. So the first thing you are going to need, is your receipt notice. Okay, so when you file your application with USCIS, you're going to get a receipt notice that basically lets you know that they received your application and they are going to be processing your application. Okay, so that's the first thing you are going to need. If you do not have your receipt notice, go ahead and make sure you get that. Your attorney or yourself should be able to get that. I will show you how to go ahead and get your case status without knowing your receipt, without having your receipt notice. But the easiest way is to have your receipt notice. So I'll show you a sample receipt notice and how to go about this whole thing. So this is a sample receipt notice, right? On top, it says right here, it's going to tell you that it is a receipt. That is the type of notice that this is. It's a receipt notice. And let me just zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So right here on the notice, it says notice type receipt. That's what you're looking for. If you have a biometrics notice, it should also have your receipt number on it. But just to make it simple, you should have your receipt notice. But if you don't have your receipt notice, but you have your biometrics notice, it will also have the receipt number, which is what we need to actually get your case status. So right here, it should say receipt notice. This will tell you the type of case, right? What case are you looking into? So if you are applying to renew your work authorization, this will be the case type. If you are applying for a green card, this will say I-485. If someone is filing for you, it will most likely say I-130. So it just depends on your case type. But remember, if you are filing a green card application, so let's say you're married and your spouse is filing an adjustment of status for you. So you'll have a receipt notice for the I-130, the I-485, and then if you chose to also apply for work authorization at the same time, you will get this notice that says I-765. If you chose to apply for advanced parole so that you can travel in and out of the country, you would also have a receipt notice for an I-131. So you would have, in a typical marriage case in my office, we would have 4 receipt notices for just one case. So just keep that in mind as you're checking your case status. Know that the I-765 and the I-131 is being processed by different office than the I-130 and the 485. So their case status, the case status for the employment authorization and the travel permit is going to be different than the case status for your I-130 or your I-485. So just know that before you even start. So if you have 4 receipt notices, you should be checking the case status for all 4 and not just one, because they all have different case statuses. Okay, and you really want to know what all the case status are before you really get into it. Okay, so now we have your receipt notice, we have your receipt number. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and go to USCIS.gov. Okay, so we're just going to do that, USCIS.gov. And now you're on the main USCIS website. From here, you are able to check your case status. So how do you do that? So all you have to do is scroll down to right here where it says manage your case. Okay, manage your case gives you 3 options. Check your case status is the first option because, of course, USCIS knows that people get anxious and they want to know what their case status is. So that's the first option you have right here. So you click on case status, right? And it brings you here. This is where you enter your receipt number. So remember, the number that's right here, you go ahead and type it in right here and click check status. It will tell you what the current status of your case is. USCIS is pretty good with updating these on a regular basis. So if there was, let's say you had your biometrics notice, it will tell you that they issued a biometrics notice. If you completed your biometrics, it will say fingerprinting has been completed or something of that nature. Sometimes it would say that your case is in front of an officer and is being actively reviewed. I get this question a lot. What does that actually mean? Does it mean that an officer is actively reviewing it, which means you will get an interview in the next 2 weeks? Right? That's not what that actually means. It means it's been assigned to an officer and the officer may or may not be looking at your file right now. Okay, it doesn't actually mean that the officer is ready to schedule an interview. Just know, just because the officer is reviewing it, they may be reviewing your file to see if they need to send you a request for evidence, and then to see if your file is ready for an interview so that you will be entered into the interview queue, right? Another status that also confuses people is the case is ready for interview. That means you're in the interview queue. That doesn't actually mean that your case is going to be scheduled in the next day or 2 for an interview. Unfortunately, that's not what that means. So that's something to also keep in mind as you're looking at your case status. If you see that ready for interview, just know it means that your particular case is in the queue, right? The officer has looked at your file, nothing seems to be missing, so they put it in the queue for an interview. So if they have, if their queue is 6 months, right? If they have cases to interview, that's up to 6 months of cases that they need to interview, you may not get an interview notice for like 5 or 6 months. So, and there's no way for you to really know what time frame they're interviewing. But there is a way to check how long it takes to complete a case at your specific service center or field office. I'll be showing you all of that in another video. But in this situation, I just want to flag those 2 case statuses for you so that you are not confused or think that your case is not moving. So do not get discouraged if that's what ends up happening. Okay. Now, the next thing you need to know is sometimes you do not have your receipt notice. And if you do not have your receipt notice and you want to check your case status, there's really 2 ways of doing it. So on the USCIS website, there is Ask Emma. Let me see if it will give me that, if they still have that option. So they typically have like an assistant called Emma that says, that pops up right there. So Emma typically pops up. Let me make this full so you can see exactly what I am referring to. Yeah, let's go ahead and make that bigger. All right, so right there, it says, need help? Ask Emma. So if you click on Ask Emma, you can tell Emma that you don't have your receipt notice, but you want to check your case status. Emma will then put you in the queue to get to a USCIS customer service representative that will then take your information, ask you a bunch of questions, and be able to give you not only your receipt number, but also a case status. So you can choose to either do the case status like we just did it, by just entering your receipt number. If you don't have your receipt number, you must use Ask Emma or call the 800 number. So USCIS customer service has an 800 number. You can call it to get information about your case. Ask Emma is just an online tool. It's like a chat feature where you can also chat with a customer service representative from USCIS to get your case status. So Ask Emma will also be able to give you case status if you have your receipt notice, but it is really, really helpful when you don't have your receipt notice. Okay. The 800 number, really helpful if you do not have your receipt notice, but if you do have your receipt notice, it may not be the most helpful way to get your case status, because sometimes you're on the phone for hours just to get through to someone. So if you need help, Ask Emma right up here is typically able to get you to live help, to then ask you a bunch of questions, and you have to be ready to answer those questions. For example, you'll need to know petitioner. So you must be the petitioner or the applicant. Okay. So to use Ask Emma or the 800 number, you must be the petitioner or the applicant. And this is really, really important, right? Because USCIS doesn't want to give your case status to someone that's not you. So if you are doing a marriage-based case and you want to know the status on an I-130, that means the petitioner is the U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse that filed the I-130. If you want to know the status on an I-485, it would be the beneficiary, the applicant in that situation will be the non-U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse. Okay, so it's really important that you know before you go to Ask Emma or call the 800 number, it must be the petitioner or the applicant. You can use an interpreter, but you do have to identify yourself. So you must have the petitioner or applicant with you, right? So if a family member wants to help you with the process, you have to be there while they're doing this in case so the USCIS officer will most likely want to ask you questions. For example, where you live, when you filed the application, date of birth, name, address, things like that. So just make sure if you are using Ask Emma or the 800 number, you are really the applicant or the petitioner, and or you have the applicant or petitioner there to confirm that you have permission to get information and ask questions on their behalf. Okay, so this is what I typically do for potential clients that are not my clients. I don't have a notice of appearance for them on the USCIS file. So I would have them come in and we will call USCIS together, especially if they don't have their receipt notice. If they do have their receipt notice or any notice related to their case, we're able to pull that information by just going to the case status online and not have to deal with customer service. Okay, so just know that's how those work. Now, I know I have referred to the 800 number multiple times. Where do you find the 800 number? So typically the 800 number would be at the bottom of your receipt notice. So right there. So USCIS customer contact center number. So this is their customer service number. So this is their contact center number. No matter what type of case you have, if it's with USCIS, this is the 800 number you're calling to connect with a customer service representative. Okay, so go ahead, write this number down in case you need to call USCIS. If you don't have your receipt notice, remember you can call this number, verify your identity. USCIS can then give you the receipt number for your case and give you a case status for your case. Now, if you can also use Ask Emma, as I said before, but if you like phone calls better, go ahead and call the 800 number. I know it says attorney copy. That has nothing to do with the contact center number. It's just in that I received a notice as the attorney in the case, and my client is going to receive their own notice as well. So just know that's what that means. It doesn't mean that the phone number is only for attorneys. So keep that in mind. And remember, as I said, the 800 number, you do have to be patient because sometimes it can take hours to get through to somebody. Okay. So that is, in a nutshell, how to check your case status online. I provide this service to my clients. They don't need to check their case status. I check it for them and give them a monthly update. Or if there's an update that happens in the middle of the month, we also give them a status update. So, but if you want to stay on top of your case and stay on top, if you like information, right? If you like information, you like being staying on top of your case, then this is the best way to do that, right? This is definitely the best way to get the status update and know where you are in your case. Sometimes knowledge is power, and you want to know, if things are moving in the right direction for you. So that is all I have for you today. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. And also, if you would like to schedule a time to speak with me about your particular case or your particular situation, go ahead and call my office at 508-443-1788. Or go to my website, Lillylegal.com. And like I said, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And remember, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you know someone who needs to hear this, go ahead and share this video. Sharing this video is really the way that people get to know about our page, our channel, and get a lot of immigration information. If you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, go ahead and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Like the page if you are watching on Facebook. And like I said, I am so happy that you took the time to watch this video. I hope you found this helpful. And once again, I am Lilian Chukura. I am the owner of Lillylegal, where we do immigration law and we do it well. Bye for now.